Let's rethink this. Nick Adams, the alpha male, more on that later, thinks we need to put prayer back in public schools. Only problem is it technically never left. And the Supreme Court has ruled multiple times that students can have Bible studies, Christian clubs, Muslim clubs, you name the religion club. It's already free to do that. The only thing that changed was that the school can't compel anybody to do or not do that. That's a good thing. First Amendment, not a Christian nation. Founding fathers said so, made it that way, really clear. So it's already there. It just apparently isn't the particular kind of prayer that Nick Adams thinks everybody should conform to. Also, Nick Adams, he's part of the MAGA cult, Trump world, to some degree a Christian nationalist. Maybe he has actually made that commitment explicitly. He certainly talks like one. And so that crowd consistently also pushes the message that we should just stick to the basics, the three R's: reading, writing, and arithmetic. Which, uh, honestly, to a large degree, I agree with that. I do think that we probably have too many extra topics in public schools, eh, but that's another discussion altogether. The point being here, you have them say we need to focus on these basics, but then we want to throw in these things that aren't basic and are an affront to freedom, to religious freedom and freedom in general. So more inconsistent thinking and messaging from the tribe that wants to make America some sort of Christian nation or some sort of religion run nation. Just doesn't add up. I'm willing to bet money, chicken dinner, whatever you, happy meal, something, that Nick Adams is not willing to let any religion lead children in prayer. Could be wrong about that. Maybe he actually agrees that prayer should be in school and it should be any and all prayers. Every religion ought to get their day in the sun praying in public schools. And I do think that if prayer makes it into schools, it does have to be an all or nothing. Either everybody and their dog. It's all the religions get to impose that, or none of them get to impose it. Technically, none of them should get to, because we're not a Christian or religious brand at all nation. It's just not what the founders envisioned. It's not what the Constitution can be twisted to mean or be, and it's not what Americans want. I'm a Christian, and I don't want prayer in schools unless it's people on their own individually praying when they feel like it. Of course, you're free to pray when you want to, but as a student, you're also there to learn some things and not disrupt the class. So I just don't, this crowd is not a crowd that's willing to let anybody pray. They want their prayer warriors to do the praying and direct how prayer happens, when it happens, and to who it goes. So I'm just not buying that he would be willing to let, say, a Muslim pray. And we have a lot of religious bigots, xenophobes in this country still, who all of these other things can pray, but not those people. There's always an other rising. And, eventually somebody is the square peg in the round hole. And I'm just not believing that Nick Adams is really willing to let freedom ring. Now, finally, here's where the rubber really meets the road. Nick Adams does profess to be a Christian. I've seen him tweet that elsewhere. And here's a thing for Christians, and Christians are the ones, I don't recall Buddhists or Jewish people or any other world religion demanding that the schools impose prayer on all students. It seems to be only a particular branch of evangelical Christians are consistently arguing for that in ways that defy reason. And so the thing that's odd about that, again, getting back to personal epistemology and your epistemic stance, if the Bible is supposed to be your guide as a Christian, and if Jesus, the way, truth, and life, the great commissioner, all right, he said in Matthew 6, but when you pray, go away by yourself, shut the door behind you, and pray to your Father in private. And this was all part of a thing. Don't be like the publicans, as a kind of a King James word. Interesting, ironic, the Republicans now versus publicans then, who will go blow trumpets on the corner and yell and scream and make sure everybody knows they're praying. Which reminds me of a recent Supreme Court case where a coach won by losing. Yeah, won the case to let him pray in public in front of everybody on a football field, but he lost it in terms of obeying the Bible. And in fact, in obeying his Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, who said, when you pray, go away by yourself, shut the door, and in some translations, the closet, or sometimes they say your room, but it's your room. It's not a schoolroom. It's not a football field. It's when you are at home in private. That's when you're supposed to pray. Um, it's right there. Am I free to pray in public as an American? Yes, I am. Am I supposed to pray in public as a Christian? No. I mean, Jesus said, when you pray, go do it like this. Don't do it like that. I don't know. This just seems really inconsistent, cognitively dissonant posturing. Anyway, later, y'all.